It's the National Football League on EA Sports as we get set for a Super Bowl 21 rematch. It's the New York Giants and the Denver Broncos on Monday night.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and for both of these teams that we're going to see, Charles, the future is kind of right now. You know, this is something you only see a handful of times in an NFL season where you've got a rookie quarterback versus a rookie quarterback. And I think a lot of that has to do with the era we're in now, because our dads, they didn't see rookie quarterbacks go against each other. In fact, it could be 2-3 years before they even saw the playing field. Nowadays, you get drafted, they expect you to play earlier, and these guys as competitors, they'll take their lumps early, but they'd rather be on the field. And off we go from Denver. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Ole Miss. For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment, running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. They'll drop to throw. They'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Up the middle they go. Tracy. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. Big article in the paper this morning talking about how they wanted to get chunk plays in the run game. Well, early on, there's a good one. There isn't for guys on defense. They've got to remember the old adage. You've got to meet force with force, and if you don't, you get run over, as they did on that last play. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete. Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Open man, that's Malik Neighbors. Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
Hadn't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
That's complete. It's Neighbors. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. In motion right is Robinson. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Wan'Dale Robinson. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Giants will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. This is caught inside the 15. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A huge play there for Denver. 59 yards.
It's early, but announcer cliche alert here. Big players make big plays. Should I say in big games too? What the heck. And this defense, they're going to have to find some way to slow him down as this game goes on, because when this combination is going good, they can tear your secondary apart.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. To throw is Nix. His pass caught at the 4. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw, here's Nix. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff up the middle. Tracy. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy. They needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. Taken from just outside the 30. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
They work now on 2nd and 9. On play action, here's Nix. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Nix to the air. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago. So a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there. And they get the 1st down.
On 1st down, Harvey. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And the Giants ready to come out now. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Slayton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. Up the middle they go. Tracy. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Tracy. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
That looked like a 2-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. There's a short one to the tight end, Jaxson. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Up the middle they go. Tracy. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That is incomplete. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Throwing Nix. Steps away to his left. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Here's Nix. Open man right side is Ingram. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey, and they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
It's been a rough go on the ground throughout the entire game, but after a run like that, they may have found the spark to get their offense kick-started.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Harvey, and he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now 2nd and 5. Now it's Nix. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 16. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And this offense has been a little slow to get going, but some signs of life here in this second quarter. They're moving it pretty good. And that helps the cause as well. Good yardage and another first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Working out of the gun is Nix. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Marvin Mims from 3 yards out. And the Broncos have cut it back within a score. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. He gets this one to Jaxson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They're going to look to throw. This one is Slayton over the middle. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Here now, 2nd and 4. They'll look to throw again. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. That is caught inside the 5. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Gano's kick is good, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A final shot before break. Nix. They've got his man complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Broncos offense and veteran receiver Cortland Sutton getting set for their next drive. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this third quarter. Throwing to start the drive. Nix got a man and he hits him in stride. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They'll run on first down. It's Harvey. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 48-yard line, here's second down and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On third down, Harvey. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. There's a short one caught by Johnson. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it second down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Now a handoff up the middle. Tracy. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 59 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 4. They'll drop to throw. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Denver's offense now set to go. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
Going right side, he finds Slayton.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Well, based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Now back to throw.
This is caught. It's Robinson with a Giants touchdown.
A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air as his guys are able to extend their lead.
There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
They'll try and run it here. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
The last series form a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Up the middle they go. It's Harvey. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Nix to the air. A short throw to Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver 1st down.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a 1st down.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Nix.
And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now a handoff up the middle.
Harvey. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
To throw, here's Nix. He'll get that complete to Vele.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. And he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4.
3rd down, here's Tracy.
And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Oh, what a great job defensively to stack things up. They were committed to stopping the run. They knew it was coming. And now it looks like they should get the football back as they force an important 3 and out.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Harvey.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
2nd and 7. To throw is Nix.
He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Nix. And this one into the hands of Ingram downfield. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Slot man moves right.
He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. See the athleticism there of Brian Burns stopping him behind the line.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not,
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
They're going. It's Nix.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Got a man open. It's Sutton. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
And what a tough spot for this defense, because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Forced out to his left.
Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack.
He saw the pressure and he got out, but he never got upfield. And the defense, they took full advantage of a rookie mistake there. They were able to add a big loss on the sack.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Up the middle they go. Tracy. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Denver's offense ready to go again. And they have had problems getting the running game in gear as we look through some of their attempts from earlier. They have just not been able to match the physicality that this defense has shown, and their lack of success on the ground is a direct reflection of that. Nix from the shotgun. That's taken in by Franklin.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Now 2nd and 4.
Completes it to Evan Ingram. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Another try from the 19, 2nd and 10. Nix to throw again. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that 1st down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun is Nix. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Here we go. This is 4th down. They'll go for it. Here's Nix.
He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are going to get the football back. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
New York set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete.
And he is going to have a New York first down, and the Giants are going to win the football game. And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee. Second and 11. Now a handoff up the middle. Tracy. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Denver, good night, everybody.